Yo, what is up, guys? Moxsy here. You may have noticed that there's some different things going on screen this time. Um, just a little update. We did get a laptop and an Elgato just to improve the quality of our videos and content. Fortunately, I'm moving soon, so I just bought this laptop as like a temporary thing. I should be moving in like 20 days, and I'll just return this laptop with Best Buy's return policy. So just a temporary thing until I get my real PC, big PC, and my new apartment, which I'm really excited for because I really want to have the best quality for you guys. This computer can't really record more than 5 minutes at a time, so this video is going to be chopped up into short segments. But this is me. My name is George. I go by Moxsy on the internet here, and today we have an amazing video for you guys today about the best assault rifles on Amara. One other thing, so this is all going to be going on Twitch. So Twitch should be a lot better. We got a lot of custom things going up for our Twitch, so everything's going to be getting better. All part of my goal to have the best quality content on this channel, and I hope you guys can see that we're trying here, doing my best. This is all really new to me. Also, we're going to start playing Zane on Twitch. I think we're going to do like a little Road to Mayhem 3 series on Twitch. We'll do some highlights on the channel, and then we'll get some builds going for Zane. Zane is still a little underwhelming, I guess, and because of that, I'm interested in playing him. That was part of one of the reasons why I wanted to play Amara, was because um, people were thinking she was going to be bad, and I kind of like playing the underdog. So playing Zane soon. For now, keep rolling out the Amara videos, and I hope you guys like the improvements that are going on, and we're going to get right into the video. So once again, we're going to be starting from the bottom. We're actually we have an order again. So the Rowan's Call is the best assault rifle for Amara that I've found, going down to the Laser Sploder and the Lucien's Call, and then the Star Helix. The Star Helix isn't a bad gun, but out of the assault rifles I've tried for Amara, I put it at number 4. We'll be going into the synergies and in-depth of why these guns are good, but particularly why they're good on Amara and how Amara can make better use out of them than other characters. You guys seem to enjoy that in the past, and I like providing that for you guys. One of the biggest complaints that I get from newer players is that there's so many legendaries that drop and so little inventory space, and they don't know what to pick up. So hopefully this series helps you get better inventory management and a better idea of what you should be picking up and what you can be leaving, because there are a lot of really good legendaries, but there are also a lot of crummy ones. So starting at number 4 here, we have the Star Helix weapon. It is a dual assault rifle that switches between fully auto and semi-auto. Unfortunately, this one I have isn't in an element, which is why I haven't been using it as much. It's a gun that I like, but it comes in shock, radiation, and cryo. So not the best elements, another reason why it's number 4. But to show you guys here, the Star Helix has a interesting legendary weapon trait where it shoots one bullet straight, and then the other 2 are kind of like zigzagging, like that. Yeah, just like that. And so this gun's has pretty consistent damage. It's one pellet that's always going to hit in the middle, is dead accurate, but as you can see here, like here we're not going to be hitting one enemy with all 3 projectiles, and at like a certain range you will be hitting an enemy with all 3. So it's kind of one of those guns where like using it more often will make you better with it. Its projectiles are going to hit really hard, so when you can hit an enemy with all 3 of them, you're going to be absolutely shredding them. But because of this like inconsistency of damage, I couldn't put it any higher, and we haven't been using it much because this one isn't in an element. But it was one of my favorite guns to use through my story playthrough, just because of its damage capabilities. And with Amara, and we're using Phase Grasp, you can actually kind of like line up your bullets, and once you play around with it, gauge the range that you need to have to hit all 3 projectiles, and when you're doing that, you absolutely shred things. Let's just show you guys the modifiers real quick. one of the annoying things about Mayhem 3 is the difference in the modifiers and how those work. And I understand that it could be frustrating getting deceived by YouTubers and stuff like that. If you see a Mayhem 3 video that doesn't have the modifiers up, um, I would, in me being kind of cynical, I would assume that they probably have boosts. But right now we do have a boost, so just keep that in mind when you're watching the gameplay. But overall, the Star Helix is a solid gun. It's fun to use because you do get better with it. Unfortunately, the one we're using is elemental, so we're not actually healing from it, which is why I haven't been using this one. But we'll move on to our next gun, which is the Lucien's Call. The Lucien's Call is a Vladov assault rifle. It's a world drop just like the Star Helix and the rest of these guns. The Lucien's Call can come in fire, corrosive, and cryo. I have enjoyed using the fire and corrosive one. The cryo one can be really, really good just because of its perk, where your critical hits return 2 bullets to your magazine and ricochet. With Amara's synergy with 1 indiscriminate, which is our ricochet skill, and 2 ties that bind, we'll be hitting enemies with a lot of our damage. The bullets will be flying around from indiscriminate and the perk on the Lucien's Call, which make the Lucien's Call an amazing weapon for large groups of enemies. You can keep it if you're using like Ties That Bind or any Phase Grasp ability, you can keep it trained on their head, which means you're going to be firing without ever having to reload, which is also works really well with our skill Sustainment. Sustainment's biggest downfall is versus like Samsara. We know I love Samsara, Church of Samsara, but Sustainment is a skill that's really great, but when you reload, you stop healing. And so with something like the Lucien's Call, as long as you have an enemy up in the air, you can pretty much keep firing at them and hitting their crit, and you'll never go down. You'll be able to, for the most part, if you're running the right builds, out-sustain the damage that people are doing to you. And because the bullets will be ricocheting, this works really well. The Lucien's Call isn't as high as the Rowan's, even though they share very similar properties. And that's just because the Lucien's just doesn't hit as hard as the Rowan's Call does. And for that reason, I placed the Rowan's Call above that. But as you can see, like, we fire a lot, and we have a lot of survivability just because of its perk that returns bullets to our magazine. We can keep firing, keep sustaining, keep putting out damage. We'll be proccing Wildfire a lot, proccing all of our elemental effects, and overall, it's a great weapon. It's an even better weapon for something like Slaughter Chef. As you can see, these guys are already losing their health, just because the grouping of enemies is so small, or so tight in Slaughter Shaft, so a weapon like the Lucien's Call can really shine. Also in boss battles, it's a great weapon because of like large crit spots that are exposed for extended amounts of time. And that'll lead us into our next gun. So our next gun is the Laser Sploder, which is a torque assault rifle. The Laser Sploder fires a constant beam that does a lot of damage, but it also shoots out rockets while you're holding down the laser button. I don't know what Mr. Torque was thinking. He spent all of Borderlands 2 talking smack about lasers, and then he made a laser gun, but it does explosions, and Mr. Torque likes explosions, so we like this gun. It works really well on Amara because the beam doesn't actually have an unlimited range, unlike most bullets, so we benefit a lot from using it up close, also because the rocket projectiles aren't that accurate, so you can get a lot of use with this gun with personal space. Because the beam is constant damage, it's really easy to stay up while using this weapon, and if we're running something like Slaughter Shaft, we'll actually get bonus damage on the rocket that fires out from perks like Arms Deal. This gun works really great on Amara. It does a lot of damage. It's one of, it is, if not, besides the Rowan's, the hardest hitting assault rifle. You will be melting enemies with this, and it's overall a lot of fun to use. Let's see if we go kill this guy to show you guys off. This gun is one of the guns that I've seen drop the least. I was very lucky to get one in fire, but if you do get one, I'd make sure to hold on to it because it works really well on Amara. It's a lot of fun to use, and this last part makes it even better, is that it can drop in any element. So you can get this gun in any element, so whatever you need, or whatever like use you need out of this gun, you can have an element for. As you can see, oh, we're going down again. Well, that's quite sad. Hello. Well, that's rip. Anyways, the laser Sploder comes in any element, does a lot of damage, works really well on Amara, and she gets a lot of good use out of it. I wouldn't put it up there with like uh, the Rowan's call, just because of um, the Rowan's calls has a slightly more synergy with Amara's skills, and we'll get to that in a second. But overall, the Laser Sploder is a great gun, comes in any element, and strongly recommend you guys trying it out, giving it a go for yourself. And that'll lead us into our next gun. So the Rowan's Call, I think maybe besides the Crossroads, maybe my favorite gun in this game that I've used. It is easily a top 5 weapon for Amara. I'd put the Rowan's Call up there with top 5 weapons being Crossroads and Cutsman. The Rowan's is definitely up there, and those last 2 spots we'll get to. Don't worry about it. But the Rowan's Call, 1, is a lot of fun. 2, because of its bullets back interaction from the Jacobs and ricocheting, it works dummy good with Amara. It hits a lot harder than the Lucians, so just because of that reason, it works better. The Rowan's Call is also a world drop. I've heard people having a lot of difficulty getting this gun, but if you can get it, definitely use it. It comes in fire, shock, and radiation. I've been using my fire and shock ones a lot. We got this shock anointed one, which is absolutely crazy, and it works even better because we have a plus 45% Jacob's weapon critical damage. This, along with phase grasping, a target up in the air, having unlimited magazine size or bullets because we're critting, and that crit doing plus 45% damage, and that damage being linked and ricocheting to all the enemies, make this one of the best room clearing guns. Honest to God, it is a beast, and in addition to that, it's really, really satisfying to use. If you guys haven't used the Rowan's Call for yourself, we'll show it out a little bit here, but it makes a pinging sound when you hit a crit, signifying that you were able to get the, let's see, yeah, that sound is so amazing, and as long as you're hitting crits with this weapon, you're going to be doing really, really well. Its hip fire is pretty good. It's not the greatest. Amara does have some skills into accuracy that you can put if you want to just use this weapon as a hipfire gun. But as you can see here, basically anything you phase grass is going to die, and a lot of the things around you are going to die also. Because of the constant crit, we're able to sustain ourselves because we're going to be doing so much damage that our life bar is just going to be staying up basically all the time. With our elemental effect chance, everything is going to be getting status over time effects on it, or dots. And if you're running Ties That Bind, this has got to be one of the best weapons to use with Ties That Bind. Even without it, as you can see, like, the bullets are just hitting everyone, and the bullets hit so hard that it's just overall a lot of fun, good to use, and easily top 5 weapon on Amara. The Rowan's Call, once again, is a world drop, so if you're having trouble finding one, I am sorry. It is just luck, but definitely keep your eyes out for it. And that is the video. hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something or uh, saw an assault rifle that maybe you weren't thinking about, and now you're gonna go give a go. Let's just kill this anointed enemy real quick. But yeah, a lot of new things coming to the channel. I'm really excited that we've got so many improvements happening, and I really want to share them all with you guys. So, hope you enjoyed. That the Zane series will be going up on Twitch. We'll be doing that. A lot of new content coming to the YouTube, so stay tuned. The uh, support and feedback has been incredible. I'm glad you guys are liking um, the blazing breakneck banshee build. Um, so stay tuned for more. It's only gonna get better, and I appreciate you guys a lot. We are hitting 10K soon, and we'll have to do something special for that. I haven't decided that yet, but this was uh, the best ARs. My name is George or Moxsy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.